Hey everybody, David Alter here for Rink Toronto, presented by Bodog. Make a play, Canada's choice for free casino games, sports odds, and poker strategies. And tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs visit the Carolina Hurricanes right here at PNC Arena. And a pleasant surprise, not for the Leafs, but for us, when Ryan O'Reilly did make his way on the ice to join the players for the team's optional morning skate. He was on the ice here in Raleigh the day before as well, even though the team had the day off. Sheldon Keefe said that it was very important for the player to kind of join the teammates as he starts making his way towards possibly returning very soon. The Leafs did put a 4-week timeline on Ryan O'Reilly's injury. Remember, he broke his finger in that game against the Canucks earlier in the month, and so that would put him back at around early April. He was out here handling pucks, shooting, all the good signs, but because he's a center, they're taking a very cautious approach, making sure that he can handle things like face-offs and other things that would definitely test that finger. So the conditioning is up. He was the last player to leave the ice, and so he is making his way toward a return. But again, the Toronto Maple Leafs being very cautious. The Toronto Maple Leafs will go with Matt Murray again. He was pretty solid in the previous game for the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Panthers. And with Ilya Samsonov still back home after becoming a new dad, that is the starter for tonight. Joseph Wall will back him up, and we didn't get this confirmed, but it will likely be that Wall gets the nod in goal on the tail end of back-to-back tomorrow against the Nashville Predators. Now, Morgan Rielly is going to come back in. He was talking about how, for a couple of weeks now, the Toronto Maple Leafs have been in this plan where they're rotating defensemen. They had a team meeting as a defense a couple of weeks back where Sheldon Keefe communicated that, we have 9 guys who could play, so there are going to be guys who have to take the turns on the rotation, and Morgan Rielly is certainly no different than that. You saw that against the Panthers. He'll be back in, but Erik Gustafsson went over to Washington instead of joining the team here in Raleigh, and it's due to a personal family matter. We don't know exactly what the situation is, but they're going to give him some time to deal with that, so we certainly hope that it's nothing too serious for the Gustafsson family. Well, that's the story here. The Leafs certainly prioritizing rest. It was a day off, but after the day off, it was an optional skate. A lot of guys did take the ice, but Sheldon Keefe saying that, we're getting into that point where now there's just 11 games or so left in the schedule. So with a lot of games in a short period of time, the Toronto Maple Leafs are just going to kind of utilize all the rest until it all gets real for the Maple Leafs in the playoffs. That's the story from here. Myself and Rob Wong will have your post-game show. Make sure you rate and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms to Rink Wide Toronto, presented by Bodog, Canada's home for casino games and sports odds, where everyone goes to play. Rink Wide Toronto, pre-game, post-game, every game.